What is up? Modest Goddess is out here. Welcome to my podcast. I'm so excited to bring this back. I did the podcast over quarantine. We did about 4 episodes. We had pretty good response. And then, I just stopped doing me and I hate that. But we back. We out here. We're better than ever. Thanks for being here. I recently got divorced. I was married for 10 years. And we were polyamorous, so I had time to really delve into a relationship with another person who I fell deeply in love with. And that isn't why I got divorced. We were poly, I was used to being and caring for multiple people at once, but really I just was unhappy. I wasn't happy with that person. I didn't feel treated correctly. And I really denied it for so many years. I hadn't been happy for 6+ years. So it was time, and I'm so grateful that I'm here, but it did take a lot out of me and it put a lot in me. And that's that's how I can describe it. Anyway, I'm monogamous now, pretty cool, but that's for the next episode. We'll talk a little bit about that. Today, I just want to get into, I haven't really spilled much tea about the divorce, but I'm going to get into some stuff today. We'll spill a little tea. I'm old fashioned. I have a list. So I want to just say 3 things that I learned. There were many, many things I learned from getting divorced, but 3 things that I learned from getting divorced. So let's start with number 1. Okay, so the first thing was to stop caring what other people think about me. Obviously, it's a work in progress. We're always working toward just not caring what others think about us. It's a really hard thing to do this day and age, let me tell you. But yeah, getting divorced, it was like I was so close with this family. I had to just not give a shit about what they thought and what my friends thought. And like, to be honest, like a lot of people confirmed to me that it was the right move. Friends were so supportive. My family was hella supportive. And just, yeah, I think a lot of people saw it before I did, my unhappiness. And that was really alarming, to be honest. But yeah, I had to just kind of stop caring what people thought of me, And then it looked a certain way because I moved in with my boyfriend in Florida that I had been with for about 2.5 years once I got divorced. So now it's been 3, and it's been really amazing and great, and also a huge learning experience, and so much processing to jump from one, long-term relationship into something so different and beautiful and feels so right and aligned, and like how much that brought up from my old relationship. That's a whole nother episode as well, but let's stick to the point here. So what I was going to get into is my partner, David, and I, aka Dropkick. Look him up. His music's amazing. We have a project together called Moist Towelette. So my previous relationship, I was in a duo with him called Cosmo. And, I learned, I grew. There was a lot of trauma just in performing in Cosmo for me, to be honest, that I moved through and came out of. And I feel so good and aligned in Moist Towelette. And I'm feeling really good about it. And our music is just so fun and so different and unique. And that sensual, spiritual energy that I have felt my whole life, I get to express it in a really cool way. So we posted a track, and this girl that I knew me from Cosmo, she commented on it, and she was like, I don't feel like this is you. Like, I like your art and stuff, but like, what is this, And it was just so uncalled for. But another deeper lesson is like, so many people, I'm sure, think whatever they think about me leaving Cosmo and doing my thing in my own projects. I'm going to be releasing music independently as Modest Goddess pretty soon, and I'm really excited about that. And my Moist Towelette music is so different than the music I used to make. So people are going to think what they think, and you just got to do you, boo, because I am so much happier. I think back to 1.5 years ago when I was in my old life, and like, I don't even know that person. Like, that person was so not authentically me because I was so unhappy, Okay. Second thing, number 2, not to romanticize healing, because at first I was like, I'm going to go to Florida and just be with the beach, and the water's going to heal me, and it's going to be amazing. And yes, that is true. I go to the beach a lot, and it is very healing. But the amount of darkness that I had to face in myself and just like relearn who I was, and just process all the things that had happened and how I got to where I was and how I let it go on for so long. Like, it was a lot to move through. It wasn't it wasn't the idea that I once romanticized of healing, like, oh, I'm just going to go relax. It was work, and it's still work. But I've processed so much. It's been over a year since I moved out. And I had a little interim time when I moved in with my parents, which was a good transition point, to coming here as well and being able to move through stuff before I just fully moved in with my boyfriend. Don't romanticize healing, because it's not always face masks and bubble baths and sitting on the beach. It's a lot of inner turmoil, inner work, getting to know yourself all over again and reinvent yourself. Okay, number 3. I learned how to trust myself, and I'm still working with it. But a big, big part of this whole transition was I faked that I was happy to myself. Like, that is such a mind fuck for me, because I'm so real with myself. It's how I've become who I am and moved through so much. Even before I got divorced, I have to evolve to a certain point to be able to leave. Yeah, like, I just didn't trust myself. I didn't believe. It was hard for me to navigate again what happiness means to me, what it means to feel fulfilled. All these like things that I thought I was happy in. It was like I had to reform what it all meant. I had to become like a whole new person, essentially. Just like, I had my essence, but there were all these things like I thought happiness meant this. I thought happiness meant that, because it was artificial, and I was lying to myself really about what happiness was. And now didn't know I could be this happy in my life, just being in a safe space with, a partner that feels way more aligned. And, when I first moved here, I really questioned almost every day. And I think it was really important. Like, am I happy here? Am I happy here? Does this bother me? Do I need to move out and get my own place for a little bit? You have to question all these things, because for so long I didn't. And I just did what I thought I was supposed to do. And then one day I just woke up. So that was the 3 things. If you want to know about the day I realized I had to get divorced, I actually was in Florida here with my boyfriend, and I came to visit, and I took a bunch of shots of whiskey. So shout out whiskey. And alcohol can be mad medicinal. I'm just saying. And it said out loud things that I have never admitted to myself, and I had a witness there. So it was really intense to just really admit to myself how unhappy I've been for how long. And then instantly it hit me, and I was like, I have to get divorced. I have to. And I literally went home. I took him off my screen on my background on my phone. I went back to where I used to live. I waited for him to get home from work. I drank some beer, because look, we need some help sometimes. I had my best friend on the phone as I waited for him to come back to the house. And the second he got back, I did it. I did it right then and there. And I made sure I had a friend to go to her house after. I had a friend to come help him and be there for him, because that was really hard. It's hard to hurt people. Okay, let's move on, because that was a dark time, but we'll touch up on it again, because the divorce was a huge part of my life, and I'm so happy I'm on the other side of it. Oh, thank goddess. Okay, there's 2 more topics we're going to cover today. Meeting people where they are. You know that saying, like, you just got to meet people where they are. Well, let me tell you that you don't. You don't have to meet people where they are, especially if it makes you uncomfortable, especially if you're not going to be authentically yourself. And if you're going to have to dim your light and shrink to be able to interact with that person, you don't need to meet them at all. Nope. I kind of cut my brother out of my life because, when I see him, I'm civil and stuff. But we never really got along in my upbringing. And then as I got older, we're civil and we talk and stuff. But when I lived back at the house in between the divorce, I was there for about 5 months, and he still lives at home. So he's my older brother, and just saw how much nothing has changed. I even like directly said, like, do you want to get help for these things? And he was just like, nope, I'd rather just lie to myself and tell myself that I'm, you know, being reasonable when he wasn't, many, many, many times. So when I talk to him, I just get uncomfortable in my body. And I realize I don't have to maintain a relationship with somebody that makes me uncomfortable, even if they're my family. I will always love him. I will always have so much love for him. I will always hope the best for him. But it's just not safe for me. You know, my nervous system's all shook up from many, many years of stuff with people being unreasonable and close in my life. And I just can't have that if I want to become who I am. So that's that. You don't have to meet people where they are. That's not real. Okay, debunked that one. Okay, last thing. This is actually something I've realized pretty recently, but I think it's really normal in our culture to have an all or nothing mentality. It's very extreme out here. So I kind of wanted to take that into the realm of self-love. We all struggle with it sometimes. And if you don't, I'm really happy for you. But it's really hard for me sometimes to look in the mirror and be okay. It's, you know, it's like my brain and my eyes just like instantly go to places on my body, wanting to fix it, wanting to control it. You know, it's body dysmorphia, it's self-image issues, whatever you want to call it. I think we all go through this in some respect. So the self-love isn't all or nothing mentality either. It's not. So I can be pretty hard on myself because I'm like, oh, how am I still here? It's been this many years I've been dealing with this. I've been skinnier, I've been fatter, I've been more toned, I've been less toned. And the self-love doesn't follow that pattern. You know what I mean? That's not the answer. The answer isn't to change my body in some way or alter my image. What self-love starts at is little glimmers. You know, you see yourself in a picture, let yourself enjoy the way you look. If you just have one moment of looking in the mirror and enjoying something about your body, you really lean into that feeling of self-love in that moment. And it's okay if the next moment isn't so nice, but really lean into that love. So enjoy the moments where you hype yourself up, girl. That's what you need. You need those moments. Those are your glimmers, and pay attention to them and hold them and give them all the time and attention in the world. And even if your next thought isn't as beautiful, you are making progress in your self-love. And I want you to know that. Okay, I think we covered all the topics that we're here for today. I love you guys. Let me show you a piece of art that I just finished. That'll be fun. Here it is. I'm about to make her into a shirt, definitely some shirts. If there's other merch items, definitely we're going to have canvas prints, really nice canvas prints that are ready to hang. But I think that's going to make a sick pattern for clothing. So I will let you know when that drops. But as always, I have other clothing. I have original paintings on my website, allylazart.com. Feel free to go check it out. Follow me on Instagram. Yeah, check out my music, Moist Towelette Music with some underscores in between. Love you all. I will see you next week. Mwah.